Welcome back to Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier. I was lucky to have dinner with good friends last night. The host of the dinner is a vegetarian, so that always presents a challenge for the dinner menu and wine pairings, etc. We started out with a really lovely champagne that actually one of the people in the group gave me, so I regifted it to the group because I knew it was their favorite champagne and it would be a nice introduction to the dinner. The main course was raclette, which is a Swiss dish that's kind of like a variation on fondue, but you melt raclette cheese in a special contraption and serve it on mashed new potatoes with cured meats and some vegetables. There was rutabaga, parsnips, cipollini, onions, and mushrooms. So it was really, really nice dinner with really good friends, with wonderful friends who love music and love wine, and we love each other. One of the group is actually a professional musician. He's a saxophone professor and retired, and I was lucky enough to go hear him play at a local church last week. And man, he's a really talented guy. It's the first time I'd heard him play. He actually, weirdly, or specially, or something, he studied uh, saxophone at the University of Bordeaux, which kindled his interest in wine. But the wine with the raclette last night was a 2019 Marcel Lapierre Morgon. I suggested that recently that Cru Beaujolais is the most misunderstood wine in the world because you kind of broad brush Beaujolais is Beaujolais Nouveau or Jadot Beaujolais Village or Duboeuf Beaujolais Village, which are not very special wines. But this wine is very special. It's part of Kermit Lynch's portfolio, and it's been a stalwart wine in his portfolio for a long time. Um, it's it's just it helps as a 2019. I'd say it's entering its window of prime drinkability. Of course, Gamay grapes, so really bright red fruits like strawberries and raspberries. The minerality that comes from the granitic soil in Beaujolais, and just remember that Cru Beaujolais. So Beaujolais that is named for one of the 10 villages in Beaujolais that are allowed to name their wines for the specific village. There's 10 of those: Chénat, Juliana, Saint-Amour, Chirouble. I always forget Chirouble, Moulin-Avant, Morgon, Brouilly, Côte de Brouilly. I'm leaving, one or two out. Renier, the most recent one. Um, those are allowed to call the wine by the name of the village because the wines from those villages are more special. They're more interesting. They're more delightful and delicious and lovely than wines just labeled Beaujolais or Beaujolais Village, and certainly than wines labeled Beaujolais Nouveau. Um, it's medium body minus that bright red fruit, the pronounced minerality, some salinity, uh, caressing soft tannins, and a long finish. It's just everything you want. And it's high quality Burgundy. Now, it's not Côte de Nuit Burgundy or Côte de Beaune Burgundy. It's Beaujolais. So it's Gamay grapes, not Pinot Noir, but it is very high quality Burgundy for $30 a bottle instead of $300 or $3,000 a bottle. And it gives a lot of the same kind of pleasure that the wines from the more northern part of Burgundy do. It's not a wine that's going to last 30, 40, 50 years like a really fine Grand Cru Burgundy, but it's a wine that's going to give an enormous immediate pleasure now through the next 4, 5, 6 years. The 2019 Marcel Lapierre Morgon, it's pretty widespread because it's imported by Kermit Lynch. Everybody carries Kermit Lynch wines because he's a force, and and his company's a force. So you should be able to find it. It should be about $30, and it'll way over deliver at its price points. It's definitely a way, and it would be really wonderful with your Thanksgiving dinner Now, I don't think there is a wine that's great with Thanksgiving dinner because there's so much different stuff going on with Thanksgiving dinner. Can't really match a wine to dark meat, white meat, mincemeat pie, candied yams, oyster casserole, broccoli casserole, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever your particular sides are, mashed potatoes, mashed turnips. There's no wine. Maybe the default wine for guys like me is Gruner Veltliner, but that's assuming you're eating the breast meat. If you're eating the dark meat, Gruner Veltliner is not going to be the best wine. So, I think that you ought to drink the kind of wine that you love the most and drink the most expensive, or not the most expensive, but the best bottle of that kind of wine that you can afford. So if you like Burgundy, you ought to drink Burgundy. If you like Cabernet Sauvignon, you ought to drink Cabernet Sauvignon. It's the most important meal of the year with the people you love the most. I think you should be drinking the kind of wine that you love the most and the best bottle of it that you can afford or that your group loves and that your group can afford. That's my opinion. This wine certainly fits the profile. It's a really, really delicious wine. Really delicious wine. And it is, for the part of the world it comes from, very inexpensive. Thanks for tuning in to Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier. We appreciate it. You every single time you log in, and our viewership is expanding. Seems like every day somebody from another country joins us. Today we had someone from South Africa download our podcast 5 or 6 times, or maybe more than one person, but we had 5 or 6 downloads in South Africa, which is the first time that's ever happened. Romania recently, China, British Kingdom, France. Weirdly, not one person in Italy, not one download in Italy. That's very surprising to me. Russia is actually the second most downloaded country after the United States, which I think is really strange. France is third. I think Switzerland is fourth. Thanks for tuning in to Adventures of Black Belt Sommelier. We appreciate you and hope you're having a really, really great weekend. If you're lucky enough to be in the Twin Cities, I know you are having a great weekend because it is an absolutely glorious, beautiful day.